Hi, I'm Todd Eklof, the minister at Clifton UU Church. We're like Unitarian Universalists everywhere. We do our best to promote religious tolerance and understanding. Where we so value living in a pluralistic world and multiculturalism that we strive to not only tolerate the differences in others, but to celebrate them. That's why when we heard about a Gainesville, Florida group's plans to burn the Quran on 9/11, we knew we had to respond. What we're trying to do is stand in solidarity with our Muslim neighbors and citizens who we feel have been unduly discriminated against and really probably put in a position of fear during the past years and weeks and especially days.
Well, also today from 9:11 a.m. to 9:11 p.m., a 12-hour reading of the Quran in Louisville to support religious freedom and equality. The Clifton Universalist Unitarian Church hosted a continuous reading of the Quran in response to a Florida pastor's plan to burn the Islamic holy book. Organizers say the event is promoting freedom of religion and equality.
That brief report was filed by a local news anchor who afterwards sent us the following message in an email. I wanted to personally thank you so much for holding the 12-hour reading of the Quran event at your church. I am a Muslim, and it meant the world to me to see you and your church members honor and respect our book. The last few weeks, months have been tough on Muslims. I'm so grateful that you held such a positive event to help educate people about the true meaning of Islam. It's so heartwarming to see people who understand what faith is about. Please tell your members how much I appreciate their kindness. I will keep you in my prayers. God bless you. We only had about 5 days to promote the event and find enough volunteers to read. So we were lucky the local media took enough interest in the story to help spread the word.
National controversy continues to grow over a plan to burn copies of the Islamic holy book, the Quran.
Tonight, a local church is joining the list of groups condemning the idea and working to promote religious freedom and peace. Eric King is here with a look at their plan to clear up what they call misinformation about Islam. Eric?
Yeah. Well, they're calling it Islamophobia. It's a term you might have heard. And the question tonight is, would burning Qurans be a hate crime, or is it an example of freedom of expression? Well, the answer isn't as clear as you might think.
Religion is about tolerance.
Dispute not
unless in kindly sort
with the people of the book.
Save with such a land.
It's a small group working to clear the blurred lines of religious misinformation.
As have dealt wrongfully with you.
There are two ways to look at religion. The one way is to say my way is the only way and the right way. And the other way is to say that all religions express some aspect of the truth.
And say ye, we believe in what hath been sent down
to us and hath been sent down to you.
On the right, the characters are unfamiliar to many. On the left, a bit more recognizable.
Our God and your God.
The words come from the Quran, the holy book of the Islamic faith. But none of the people you see here at the Clifton Universalist Unitarian Church are here to debate the merits of one religion or another. Instead, they're here to celebrate them.
And once we can admit to ourselves, I don't know everything, we can be open to the possibility that others might at least know something.
The gathering is a conscious effort to shed light on those they call misinformed.
So on September the 11th, we shall continue with our planned event.
Namely, the members of the Dove World Outreach Center in Gainesville, Florida, led by Terry Jones. The small congregation of about 50 plans to burn the Islamic holy book on the 9th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on the United States. This, despite condemnations from the Vatican, American military leaders, and the Secretary of State.
It was shocking. It was shocking to me.
Akila Halim has been a practicing Muslim for more than 30 years.
To me, it's asinine to assume that all people of the Muslim persuasion of the Islamic faith are terrorists.
Akila and her husband are the only practicing Muslims in the room, but their opinions are on par with the rest of the group.
For that book to be burned, it takes it to another level.
We're trying to spread the message of love and acceptance, religious freedom and tolerance.
I think it is insulting to all people who practice any faith, not just Islam.
Our God and your God is one.
Is one.
Is one.
Is one.
On Saturday, starting at 9:11 a.m. and ending at 9:11 p.m., the Clifton Universalist Unitarian Church will host a continuous reading of the Quran All are welcome to attend. We will post the address of that church for you at our website, that of course, WLKY.com.
As you can see, our promotional efforts more than paid off. And even though we got a few angry phone calls and emails, most of what we heard was positive, including support from some folks you might not expect. In one email, a woman wrote, "As a Christian, I am deeply disturbed at the planned burning of the Quran. So many seem to have forgotten who we are as Americans, who we are as a people of God. I admit I know very little about what the Quran says, but I do know that it does not sanction what extremists use it as an excuse for. But now I will learn more, because I will be there Saturday to listen and learn. Thank you for helping to show the Muslim community, those that are and are not American citizens, that we are not all so close-minded." Here's another. "I spent 21 years of my life in the Army, protecting this nation and our rights as citizens to practice freely any religion that we want. Although I am not very religious, I do understand the need for religion and faith. I just want to thank you for being so understanding to the Muslim faith by opening your church for a 12-hour reading of the Quran. Muslims are very misunderstood by most of the world, and here in the U.S., they are all blamed for the practices of the few. Again, thank you in advance for doing the right thing. We are all but one race, that is, the human race." And here's one more. "Thank you for your stand for the diversity of our country. I am an agnostic, living in Metcalfe County, and believe in the rights of all religions to practice their beliefs. Thank you for showing support for the Muslims among us." We were happy, if not obligated, to stand in solidarity with our Muslim neighbors and fellow citizens. But our Quran reading was as much about promoting religious tolerance and freedom as anything else.
"Mankind and jinn, if you have power to penetrate the confines of heaven and earth, then penetrate them."
The continuous reading of the Islamic holy book began promptly at 9:11 a.m. on 9/11 and would not end for 12 hours at 9:11 p.m. as a symbolic reminder that Islam was not responsible for the terrible destruction of the World Trade Center, that many Muslims were themselves killed in the terrorist attack, and that it is un-American to discriminate against anybody, especially because of their religion.
I just hate the idea that someone could be, I don't know, castigated just because of their religious views. That just bothers me at a very fundamental level. And it seems to me our whole country was founded on the idea that people could come here and believe what they want to believe and not be persecuted for it.
36 individuals signed up to read for 20-minute slots in advance of the event, and many other walk-ins showed up throughout the day to lend a hand.
By this good news, God sought to reassure your hearts, for victory comes only from God. God is mighty and wise.
Some came just to listen as a show of support, and in some cases to hear the Quran for the first time.
The original language is very pretty, so I wanted to see that. And also because of, 9/11. People down south in Florida, the cult that's trying to burn them. It's completely awful.
Many were members of Clifton Universalist Unitarian Church, and others were from the community at large.
Thrust their fingers into their ears at the sound of every thunderclap,
including several Muslim Americans, like Muhammad Abbas and his entire family.
I appreciate what you're doing, inviting all Muslim and non-Muslim people in this church, and let them read the Quran, and may God bless them who did that and who's coming to this event and expressing their feeling, and of course reading the real word from the Quran to make people understand what is this about.
Our church sanctuary was never completely filled, but there was a steady audience of 10 to 30 listeners present throughout the entire day. They listened as the Quran was read by a variety of volunteers, mostly in English.
"O mankind, we created you from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes that you may know and honor each other, not that you should despise one another. Indeed, the most honorable of you in the sight of God is the most righteous." That's kind of why we're here today.
But at times, most poetically, in its original language.
بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء.
One of our Muslim visitors even treated us to a traditional chanting of the holy text.
ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحملنا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا.
Whether they came to chant, or read, or just listen and learn, everyone who showed up to support the event modeled what it means to live by the universal golden rule. To do unto others as you would have them do unto you. To, as a wise man once challenged us all, love your neighbor as yourself. A sentiment our own neighbors were quick to express in kind.
To God belongs all the heavens and the earth contains.
Our 12-hour Quran reading hasn't been our congregation's only attempt to promote religious tolerance and multiculturalism, especially when it comes to the Islamic faith. In March of 2010, I had the unique opportunity to meet with a delegation of leaders from Afghanistan during their tour through Louisville. Initially, the men were angry and chastised us for the hundreds of thousands of innocent people killed in their country resulting from America's war there. But as our day together progressed, we found common ground and soon became fast friends. I even offered the use of our church sanctuary when it became time for their noontime prayers. It turns out strict Muslims aren't comfortable praying just anywhere, and after some deliberation on their part, it proved to be a great honor that they used our church as their afternoon mosque. During lunch, they confessed that they'd been led to think all Americans have been around technology so long that we've become like our machines, without any hearts or humanity left. After just a short time together, however, they admitted that they'd been wrong, that they now know Americans do have hearts and feelings just like all the other people on earth. That's the power of interfaith dialogue, the power of openness and inclusion, the power of respect, the power of love, the power to transform hearts and minds in a single afternoon. The Islamic word mosque simply means place of prostration. And to me, any time we can humble ourselves before others, to love mercy and do justice and walk humbly with our God, as a Hebrew prophet once uttered, becomes a holy place. Thanks for watching, or as my Islamic friends might say, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.